How are we all doing today? And I know I got started late. How are we all doing? Oh, I know it's been a bit since I've been live, which is fine. But I wasn't 100% sure I was even gonna go live today, since work was like, hey, yeah, we need you to leave at midnight, and then we're gonna need you to come back at like 8. So I wasn't even sure I was even gonna go live today, but I'm here. It counts. It counts. Hey, welcome in, Kane. How you doing? It feels like fucking Satan's asshole outside. And I am not about that life. I think like last I looked it was like feels like 91, I think it said. I'm pretty sure. Just come from work. Nice. Like I got home maybe like an hour, like half hour ago-ish and change. 90 degrees Fahrenheit, excessive heat warning, blah blah blah. Yeah, this is great. This is great. Love to see it. Oh, you're good, man. You're good. I appreciate you poking on in. I appreciate that. I'm honestly, I'm pretty sure today's gonna be a short stream if I'm being honest with myself. So I'm not really too worried about it. Look up. I'll try. I'll try. I'll try. I promise nothing, but I will try. Alright. So, if y'all aren't in the Discord, okay, you don't need to threaten me, it's fine. You don't, you can put the knife away. You can put the knife away, I promise. It's okay. You can put the knife away. Hey, welcome in, Syndicate Void. Ruby, I hate it. I hate the heat. This 90-degree bullshit can go fuck right off. With its humidity, it can go away. I don't want it. It can go back to Narnia. It can go back to hell, wherever the hell it came from. It can go back. I don't want it. Whomst has the knife? Kane was telling me to have a good stream, and I didn't want to promise him, and he pulled and he took a knife on me. Because I wouldn't promise I would. He's like a damn jungle. Like, so I've been working like day shift this week, so which I'm kind of grateful for with how freaking hot it's going to be this week. But with that said, I am not the fan of just the 5-10 minutes to go outside to either open a door for somebody at work or just running from out to the car. It's just I don't like just it feeling sticky outside. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's a small knife. I mean, I don't know. I didn't ask. Look, all I saw was a little emote with a knife. That was all I saw. Little gremlin bastard probably ran off somewhere. Little gremlin bastard being my old model. But it's probably a small knife. Probably. Off doing crimes. Yes, which I do want to mention that because I am working days this week, the streams will not be starting at 4 p.m. despite how much I would love to make that happen. It's not possible because I only get off at 4. So, any stream this week, minus the weekend, is probably going to start closer to 4:35 p.m. Which is fine. I just want to give y'all a heads up. Because I know usually I try to be live by 4:10, 4:15, which just, it's not possible this week. It's not possible, which is fine. Went to a convention last Friday. Mid Spawn Wave and got a picture. Nice! I don't think I've met any voice actors, I don't think. That sounds really awesome, like meeting as Gojo's VA. Yeah, I don't think I have. At least not to my knowledge. There is a pretty considerable chance I probably have met a VA and I just never realized it. One of me Scott the Wizard as well, but his line was long. Yeah, it's like that sometimes. It's like that, unfortunately. My AC needs to work harder. But I will say there is, I want to say there is like, was it 4, 5 streams this week? I believe we're on the books. Potentially. See, I can't be trusted because when I make anything and then like a day before, I'm gonna completely forget what was on it. And I can't be trusted with anything. Hey Noise, hope you're doing well. So this week we got Helldivers. There will be Ready or Not, Dark Tide, a collab with a very good friend of mine, if everything goes according to plan. Some shenanigans on a Saturday. And hopefully if I can manage, keyword, hopefully, because I can't promise, because I decided since for once I have my evenings free, I wanted to play a bunch of stuff with friends. I can't promise there'll be a video this Friday. I can't promise, but I'm gonna try and make it happen. I'm gonna try. Yeah, I play one of the games from the convention, which is South Park: The Fracture. You know, I've only played one of the South Park games, right? And I will say, I went into it and I wasn't expecting much out of it. And it was honestly surprisingly better than I expected it to be. It kind of surprised me, if I'm being honest. You're doing good? Awesome, awesome. I wonder if I can turn my AC up any higher than it is. No, I cannot turn it up any higher than it is. That's some bullshit. Fuck this 9-degree weather. just break my sound? No? Okay, I did not break my sound. Mysterian, can you back to life? Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, so the Suspect games are... I'm not gonna call them perfect, but they're decent for what they are. I will give them that. They're very decent for what they are. So anyone else get stuck in this freaking, like, Satan's asshole of heat? Or is it just me? Yeah, man, if this is only 90, I don't know how I'm gonna manage from, like, towards the end of the week when we get, like, fucking, what, 97? Things supposed to get hot here towards the end of the week? Very hot and sticky. No, not you too. Just, heat needs to just go away. Don't remind you. I'm sorry. I was hoping that maybe that there was one lucky guy in here who maybe didn't get caught in the fucking heat wave. Can't put your arms out on the table. That'd probably be me with my desk if I was actually touching my desk. I don't even want to touch my controllers right now. 105? Ew. Gross. It's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. See, it's 91 degrees, but it feels like 94, 95. 105 dry. I mean, both dry and humid heats both have their issues. What the? I left my water downstairs. I'll have to go grab that later. What was I looking at? No, that's not what I wanted. Oh, like 94 being the highest. Yeah, that can F off. App and menu is called Etsy both to see. I mean, to be fair, Etsy probably would have sued them if they had used Etsy itself. They probably would have been sued. I'm pretty sure it's the only reason why they didn't do it. Probably. Let's see, what do I got for today? Yeah, like, I think I kind of lucked out, though, working days this specific week, because that means at least when I leave, I don't have to do the entire fucking truck lot where I work at the worst temperature, at the worst time of day. So in that regard, I think I kind of lucked out there. Barely. Barely. Jared is... Wait, what about Jared is Subway? Oh yeah, Jared is from Subway is a boss in there, yeah. The South Park games are an interesting trip, is all I could say. I still want to play the Stick of Truth, but I got a long backlog before I can do any of that. Is it Acid Trip interesting? I can't say because I've never been on an acid trip, so I couldn't tell you. But it is interesting, is what I will say. It is interesting. Of course, I was also playing it high on paint fumes because work had painted, and then I got out of work, and I was still high from the fumes when I played it. So, take it with a grain of salt. Hey, Oakland and Thunderspear. How you doing? What is good? Trying to think of something that's not the heat. I think the main good thing for my day is free coffee. I got a free banana muffin and free burger buns from work. Drugs are enough. I'm not saying do them. I'm just being honest. I wouldn't know. Doing alright. Friend at work broke their foot. Ooh, so your work is gonna be a 6 lighter for the next few weeks. Ooh. I hope their foot recovers alright. Which, for the record, well, thanks for the follow, Zombie. Hope you're doing well. Which, there it is. I will say though, I am a little mad at some of you guys for getting me hooked on Dark Tide. Like, what is it? Getting me hooked on Helldivers was one thing. Now you don't get me hooked on fucking Dark Tide, and y'all are fucking terrible. You know that? You, Kane, Minnow, y'all are all terrible. Maniacal seals. I got time for a game or two before work. I'm not sure. I know I am supposed to play some Dark Tide with a friend later, but I'm not sure when that is. But, if you're not busy on, I can't remember what day it is, but there was a thing in Discord where I was looking for someone for Ready or not for Ready, not for Dark Tide. I think it's Thursday. If you're not busy that day. But I know you kind of work evenings-ish, so... Well, not specifically you, Aries. But a bunch of these guys over here are just Warhammer. They got me to play Dark Tide, and they got me addicted. It's terrible. Terrible, I tell you. Next step, getting hooked on me, hooked on Rogue Trader. No, don't get me on Rogue Trader. No. Darktide is a 4-player co-op Warhammer game. Is best I can do. Think 40k Baldur's Gate 3, but you can play with up to 6 people instead of 4. 40k addiction is the best kind of addiction. No! Although, fun fact, Thundersphere, I actually already own Rogue Trader, but I have not touched it yet because I told Minnow, and I told him, that I would not play Rogue Trader until I had the Sister of Battle model done. And then when I got that done, I would play Rogue Trader. So, yeah. Rogue Trader is on the list of things to be played. It is very much on the list. You play open world games. I like open world games too. They're nice. Steam sales aren't out. See, the Steam sale being out right now is terrible for me because I'm broke as hell. So it's like, oh, this looks all these games on my wish list that I want to play, I want to get, but I'm broke. So it's like, well, shit. I just booted up 2 days ago. Got so hooked on playing it that I pushed your sleep schedule back 2 hours because I heard to keep your eyes open. Yeah, so like it's on the list to play Rogue Trader. Like it's on the books. It's just I told Minnow I would play it when I got the Warhammer model done. So, which has been started. So if everything goes well, proper timeline, I want to say it'll probably be in August. I want to say. I want to say it'll be August. That'll probably be done. It can't tempt you because you only play like 3 games. I mean, I think... Am I familiar with Necromunda? A little bit. Not terribly familiar with it, but I am aware. I'm aware a little bit about it. A game I guess soon is Hello Kitty Island Adventure. You know, I forgot that game existed. Do you know about most of the games? Yes. Hey Red, how you doing? But I mean... Oh, if I had to pick one, which would I go with? Oh, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. Fuck. I'm not honestly sure. Huh? Thanks for the resub. Okay, right. Pickle or Bean Boozle? Oh, I think you're right. I probably would go Escher, but I'm not really sure. Beans. Always beans. Okay. Beans it is. Oh, I actually caught it. Roulette's a blue one, so this is either berry or toothpaste. Honestly, one of the better draws. That's toothpaste. Yeah, I think you're probably right that I would go with Esther, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, it could be worse. I mean, there's like, hold on, do I have the box up here? I think I have the box up here somewhere. My spare box of reference, so I mean, like, out of the bad flavors, there's like, wet dog, toothpaste, dead fish, stink bug, booger, burnt rubber, liver and onions, barf, and stinky socks. So, honestly, toothpaste is the least offensive one on the entire list. Oh, and old bandages. Can't forget that one. So yeah, toothpaste is honestly the least offensive thing. Like, liver and onions isn't the worst one. Is probably the second least offensive one, depending on how strong it is. Because I've had a few of them that are, you know, it's not that very strong tasting. And then I've had another one of those where it was really strong tasting and it was absolutely chaos. Huh? What was that? No, that was Steam. Okay. I'll look at that later. But yeah, 100% could be worse. You sends a thingy. Okay. Let me at least look at it. Huh? Whoa. You shouldn't have. I fucking love XCOM. You do not know what you have just unleashed. You do not know. Oh, this is terrible. This is great. It's beautiful. She's a bit buggy and prone to crashes, but still quite a fun game. You know what? Fair. It was on sale for $2. Honestly valid. Like, listen, I've been too broke to get anything from the Steam sale, which I'm hoping that, at least after the 4th, when I have some holiday pay, that I can maybe pick myself up a couple things. Because I've been meaning to, and I keep never buying it when it's on sale, even though I should, is Cyberpunk. Because I've been meaning, because I've said it before, like, I got Cyberpunk when it first released, in its really messed up, really buggy state, and I refunded it. And this balance has been like, come on, get it now. You know, without context, that looks really wrong. This Saturday game didn't do very well. I mean, yeah, that's fair. There was a Grace Run joke. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I am aware. I am aware. But it's a case where like, I'm not gonna lie, despite knowing we were talking about Cyberpunk, my brain did a double take when I read that in my head first. my brain did a double take. Don't abbreviate Cyberpunk! Yeah, Cyberpunk is one of those that it does not look right when it's abbreviated to some. You know, I know technically the acronym is probably things closer to CSEAM, but still. That's okay, let's see, what do I have open for today? Which I'm not even sure how long I'm gonna be live today, considering I'm only running on like 3-4 hours of sleep. So I might be a bit extra rambly today. Which is fine. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Alright, let's see, what did I open for today? No, that's Twitter. I don't want to look at Twitter. I don't need 2 tabs this open. Alright, you know what? We will do... This goes over here, this goes over here, so it's out of the way. Okay. Do some fat files. And some Kentucky ballistics today, I think. And then perhaps, depending on how I'm feeling, might do some more of the Darwin Awards. This is this one involves bunnies. I think it's the most recent one, I believe. I think. Tell me about the rabbits, Ami. Look, the only thing I know about rabbits is that they like to fuck. That's the only thing I know about rabbits. And that certain rabbits die really easily from stress. That's the only things I tell you about rabbits. Outside that, I can't tell you shit. No, I am too far over. So this is but, yeah, I don't know much about rabbits, but that's the main 2 things I can tell you, is that they like to fuck, and they and some of them die very easy to stress. Trust me, the ones Nick's about to talk about act like gas station tick pills or Tic Tacs. Oh my god, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good then. Rabbits versus farmers. A history of violence. Oh, this will be good. This will be good. I'm ready. I'm so ready for this.
About businesses on this channel for months now, we need to get a little bit more unhinged. Today we're talking about the Great Idaho Bunny Bash, that time in 1981 when a bunch of Idaho farmers were having their crops eaten by jackrabbits, and they came to the very logical conclusion that the only way to handle this was to grab a bunch of baseball bats and treat it like it was the opening scene to the Gangs of New York.
I'm sorry, what? What? We're starting it off on like this with fucking baseball bats? What? You'll also eat your garden. I mean, yeah, they will. But that's also why you should take precautions to try and protect your vegetables from them. But yes, Nick, tell us about the rabbits. Tell us more about them, please.
Just so we're clear, this is not the first time this has happened. This is just the last time that this happened, okay? Farmers and jackrabbits have been having turf wars with each other for centuries. And we're gonna get to all of it right after a word from our sponsor.
Delete me. Look at my new carry gun.
Where did you get the new Canic Radian?
They sent it to me.
No, they sent it to me. That's my new carry gun.
I could have my old one.
What am I supposed to do with this? This video is brought to you by Delete Me, okay? Super simple business model. You give them money, they turn around and they make sure the data brokers on the internet aren't selling your personal information. Okay, pretty much anytime anything is free on the internet, but you have to make an account and give them your name and address and email address and all that stuff. They're basically just taking all that information, selling it to data brokers, and that's how they're able to offer that service for free. But when you have Delete Me, they monitor all the major data brokers. Whenever they start selling your personal information, they automatically submit the opt-out request for you and have that information taken down, and they give you quarterly reports to let you know how many different listings they've taken down. But then Delete Me still has my information. Yeah, obviously, they kind of have to have the information so they know what information to have taken down. That's just how that works. I mean, your options are really A, you have a bunch of people selling your information to anybody that's got cash, or B, there's one person that has your information and their entire job is to make sure nobody else has it and you're paying them directly. Yeah, I'm taking B, all right, which raises the next question, is Delete Me gonna be able to keep my personal information safe? So I asked them, they said their security certification is a ISO 27001. I had no idea what that meant, so I Googled it. Apparently, they have like the highest level of security certification that you can get. So yeah,
the texture might be a little weird though.
I was using them before they were paying me to talk about them. I'll probably be using them after they quit paying me to talk about them. If you want to give it a try, I'll have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. All right, in order to understand the Great Bunny Bash, the first thing we got to realize is that we're not actually talking about bunnies, you know, like the cute little Easter bunnies. No, we're not talking about Peter Cottontail. We're talking about jackrabbits.
Oh, it's those little fucks. Okay. Got ribs in the oven? You are insane. Ribs in this weather? In the oven? You are crazy. I don't have it. You don't have a grill. Okay, you know what? Fair. Fair. I know I was trying to make, if I was trying to make ribs right now, I would be dying. I'd be dragging my entire PC downstairs because ironically my PC is cooler downstairs. But yeah, doesn't let anyone have one. I mean, I don't own one, but I know technically we can have them, but they have to be out like, I want to say it's 6-7 feet out, I think, from the building. I want to say. Well, if we went 15 feet out, we would be in the grass. Or the, yeah, we'd be in the grass. So if we went 10 feet out, we'd be in the way. So. Alright. Okay, but it's fuck those little rabbits. Okay. I'm starting to understand why they went with the baseball bat.
Ooh. Okay, you probably thought they were the same or similar. They're not, okay? A jackrabbit is what happens when you take a normal rabbit, you give it a steady diet of steroids, then you get it hopped up on methamphetamines and Viagra and give it an unshakable hatred for agriculture. Your average jackrabbit weighs like 9 pounds and it eats a pound of food a day. All right, I'm gonna say that again, but a little bit slower.
A little fatty.
1/9 of its body mass in food every single day. And whatever it decides to eat, it's not just walking up and nibbling on the leaves. No, it picks a plant and then eats the entire plant all the way down to its roots so that it never regrows ever again. Jackrabbits multiply and breed so fast that nature literally cannot keep up. Every 10 years, jackrabbits experience a population boom, and it's because a jackrabbit can have anywhere between 3 to 8 offspring every single month. Okay, we've all heard the phrase breed like rabbits. Yeah, jackrabbits look at regular rabbits and are like, those are rookie numbers, watch this shit. They quite literally outbreed their natural predators, and once there's so many jackrabbits that the natural predators can't keep up, it reaches a critical mass, and then there's just jackrabbits everywhere. And when I say there's jackrabbits everywhere, I'm talking about like millions and millions of jackrabbits. And if that wasn't bad
hell.
enough, once the predators can't keep up with their population, they're basically unkillable because their preferred environment is a drought. You know, that weather condition that kills or drives away all other forms of life? Yeah, jackrabbits are sitting there like, this is fucking dope, I like this. And then because the drought drives away all the predators or kills off all the predators, the jackrabbits multiply even more, and then there's even more jackrabbits. So not only do they have this like 10-year cyclical population boom, a population boom can also happen if there's a drought. Once they outbreed the natural predators, the only thing that keeps their population in check outside of human intervention is they eat everything in their ecosystem until they starve to death, or a disease happens and they're living in such close proximity because there's so many of them that the disease wipes them out. There's literally accounts from the 1800s during population outbreaks where people said it looked like the ground outside was moving, and wildlife biologists say.
So, just to make sure I understand what he's putting down here. They breed a lot. Like desert droughts areas kind of deal. And will essentially, if left unchecked, will eat everything. And then those end up being the own reason of their death. Because they're going to starve. Just to make sure I understand so far. That's an accurate summary. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was on the same page, because that's kind of wild. Wait, if it's a ninth of its weight, then I couldn't eat that much if I tried. Brother, the human has the same topic as global average weight of an adult human. A single person would need to be eating 15.2 pounds of food daily. Look, I struggle to even just meet my fucking basic maintenance fucking calories. Like, I can't imagine trying to eat that much food. It's wild.
That during population booms, there can be over 200 jackrabbits per square mile. All of them eating a pound of food a day and reproducing 8 more jackrabbits every 30 days. It's literally a plague.
Houston, we have a problem.
Because of this, humans have been killing jackrabbits in North America longer than we've had written history. Obviously, Native Americans have been killing jackrabbits forever to use their pelts, to eat them, whatever, that's perfectly fine. But during population booms, they would also have a practice of mass culling so that they could get a bunch of pelts and a bunch of food all at once. The way they would do this is they would get a bunch of the boys together, they would all stand in a big straight line at arm's length, they would grab their tomahawks or their spears or their bow and arrows or whatever, and they would slowly start walking through a field, driving these hundreds and thousands of rabbits one direction, and then slowly circle around until they formed a circle around a massive herd of rabbits, and then just kill all of them. Ken, I know what you're thinking. Why would they kill them that way? Why not just shoot them with a bow and arrow, okay? Well, first of all, there's too many of them. I've only got so many arrows. Second of all, it's a target this big and it runs at 45 miles an hour. This is literally the only practical way to do it.
You gotta be quicker than that.
Okay, fast forward to the 1800s. You get westward expansion, people coming over, they're starting farms. What do farmers do? Farmers kill off natural predators, like coyotes. Why? Because they're eating my chickens.
I saw one of my chickens get captured by a coyote, and I watched him hop the fence with a chicken in his mouth. I'm like, God damn, these motherfuckers.
Okay, we can't have that, so the farmers kill off the coyotes. That makes sense. Only problem, guess what the coyotes aren't doing now? Killing off the jackrabbits. Now, the jackrabbit population explodes. And the only thing left to control it is disease or starvation, and starvation isn't gonna happen because there's farmers, there's way more food because the farmers are growing fucking food. So now there's more jackrabbits than there's ever been ever. It's just a plague of jackrabbits. They're absolutely everywhere. And now these millions of jackrabbits are eating all the farmers' crops. They can't have that because then they're not gonna have any crops. So now the farmers gotta kill off all the jackrabbits. It's like that little kid story, you know, the old lady that swallowed the fly and then she swallowed the spider to eat the fly and she swallowed the bird to eat the spider. Sorry. I've been reading my kids too many bedtime stories. Anyways, and it wasn't just the crops, it was also eating all the feed for the cattle and the horses, because jackrabbits also eat hay, and when jackrabbits eat hay, they eat it from the bottom where they can reach, and then they eat out the bottom of a giant pile of hay, and then the whole thing can fall over and crush somebody, so that's dangerous. And then once the jackrabbits do get into the hay that they don't eat, they piss and shit all over, so it ruins all of it. So not only are the jackrabbits eating all the crops, they're also potentially starving off all the livestock. If so facto, the rabbits gotta go. So the farmers looked at what the Native Americans did and they were like, okay, that's a pretty good fucking idea. Over time, they refined the process a little bit. They didn't just make a big circle around the rabbits. They'd put up a fence and then basically form a phalanx like the 300 Spartans and then walk them into the fence and then club them all to death.
We fight as a single.
It's not dumb if it works.
Unit.
And from here, it kind of turned into like a community event whenever there was a rabbit drive. Like all the people show up, they bring their wives, their kids, the sons, maybe the daughters help. The wives are off on the sideline getting the picnic ready so everybody can eat after they kill all these rabbits because everybody's tired from swinging a club for an hour straight, and it just becomes a communal thing. And this is how the jackrabbit population in the western states of the United States of America stayed in check for over 100 years. Like, I went back and dug through old newspapers, and pretty much since newspapers have been mainstream or like in common circulation, there's been articles about what is now known as a rabbit drive, aka culling the rabbit population in the western states dating back to the early 1800s. All the articles back then are like one of two things. They were just letting the community know how well the rabbit drive went, and since cameras weren't super common back then, they would literally just draw pictures. Or they were announcing an upcoming rabbit drive to get volunteers to help them get rid of all these fucking rabbits, and you can really tell it was written in like the 1800s because there's just zero fat. There's no filler words, nothing in these ads in the paper. Quote, rabbit drive, Duster, Tuesday. A rabbit drive will be held at the Duster community beginning early Tuesday morning, according to an announcement from that place. The drive...
I wish that we could have our news back to being shit that's more just straight to the point. None of this like skewed bullshit. Just fact. That would mean so much to me. But no, we're not allowed to have nice things. Asking for too much, clearly. Because clearly I have too much of a standard on that, apparently. I mean, I do know, at least, I think it was per letter, which was why we removed extra, like, some of the use from words, which is why, like, for example, color, which in some places is spelled COLOUR, we just have OR. Because it was cheaper for us to omit the extra letters. Which is why some of our spelling looks weird in comparison to other countries. The report articles were probably still... Yeah, they were. But not as bad. Because, I mean, if you want to be technical, they don't really have to technically say the actual truth. Like, they're very much allowed to skew it in very fucked up ways. No matter which side you're looking at. Do your research, people. So it's like, yeah, there's a real bias, but it's not like, there wasn't a case where some of them were like being completely dishonest. I remember, I had a friend in another country. I don't remember where it was, but, he had a translated news article, which translated something, I believe it was something Trump said. I can't remember exactly what it was right now, but their translation made it sound so much fucking worse than what he had actually said. And it's like, this is actually what he said. Please, do your research. can't really trust really anything these days. It's like you look at it, and then it's like you have to confirm it with like multiple other sources to be sure it's actually what is what it says it is, and it sucks. Also, motors have double S, L, and Bs. Yeah, exactly. The things we did to save money back then.
Rival begin at Pete Duke's place.
Meat on a bun with nothing. Add ketchup if you want. I couldn't care less.
Literally, just grab your axe handles and show up to Pete's place. We're beating the shit out of rabbits. And this worked for like 100 years. It was just part of life. You're a farmer out on the prairie one day. You look out your window and it looks like the prairie's moving because there's millions of jackrabbits. Then you go look at your crops. Your crops are gone. So you call up the boys, you grab your axe handles, and you go play whack-a-rabbit. Okay, there's nothing malicious to it. They didn't necessarily enjoy it. It was just straight up, this is what I've got to do to feed my kids. I'm gonna do it. Okay, occasionally was there the one farmer that maybe enjoyed it a little bit too much, like he lost too much of his crop and he's pissed, or he's going through a divorce and needs to let off some steam or something. I don't know, probably. But at the end of the day, what do? I mean, we were killing rabbits. He enjoyed killing the rabbits a little bit too much. Not much you can do about it, you know, just make a mental note. Don't let your kids go over to his house to play with his kids. Like, move on. For the most part, it was just people doing what they had to do to survive. And then the farmers took another thing from the Native Americans, and they didn't just leave a giant pile of dead rabbits. No, they used them as best they possibly could. They skinned them, they used their pelts, they ate them, they fed them to their chickens, they fed them to their hogs. They got every ounce out of that animal that they possibly could. But then in the 1930s, things started to change because there was the biggest jackrabbit population boom ever.
Listen, if those jackrabbits had hide like the emus, I think we might have some problems. Just saying. Yeah, they're a little harder to club. Yeah. Just a little bit. The emus are something, but at least, yeah.
And that is because of the Dust Bowl, aka a massive drought that lasted for years. And what's the environment that jackrabbits thrive in? A drought. It also kills off the natural predators, so the jackrabbit population just fucking explodes. To give you an idea of how many jackrabbits there were, the Wichita Beacon in 1935 reported an estimated 8 million jackrabbits in 30 counties.
Fucking hell.
Around the same point in time, from another newspaper article I found in 1934, it was estimated that a single jackrabbit would do $10 worth of crop damage every single year. And that's in 1934 money, which is $250 today. So you've got 8 million rabbits in 30 counties. 250 times 8 million, that's $2 billion worth of crop damage a year. And that's just in one section of one state. And to make things even worse, you know what else is going on during the Dust Bowl? The Great Depression. People are already desperate, aka these rabbits gotta go. But it's not that simple anymore because something else happened in the 1930s. In the 1930s is when animal rights became professionalized. This is when you had humane societies and animal rights groups popping up, aka Industrial Revolution has happened. The quality of human life has risen so high that you can now make a living bitching about how other people make a living. Newspapers are now much more prevalent. Radio's now mainstream. Information is traveling so much faster than it ever has in human history. Because of this, people that are completely disassociated from the issue and don't understand the issue are now hearing about the issue, and they're developing very strong opinions and feelings about this issue. And when these people that have never seen a jackrabbit hear that farmers are beating jackrabbits to death with axe handles, they're not picturing a jackrabbit, you know, this 9-pound agricultural terrorist running around eating 1/9 of its body weight in crops every single day. No, they're picturing cute little Peter Cottontail and a big mean farmer with an axe going out there like a barbarian. And then they hear that after the farmers kill all the rabbits, they're skinning them and using their skin, and then they eat them, and then they feed all the meat to their hogs and their chickens, and they just absolutely lose their minds because they don't know that chickens are like actually vicious predators, literally the descendants of fucking T-Rexes. Okay, you know what hogs will eat? Literally fucking anything. You know what chickens will eat? Also basically pretty much anything, including other chickens.
Fish! Eat other fish! The marlins and the trout! What's he talking about?
Chickens literally kill other chickens, like to the point that it's a problem. You want to know who understands that problem and genuinely cares about it? Farmers. That's why in 1903, they created chicken glasses and had them patented. Okay, the farmers didn't do this because they thought it was cute. They didn't want their flock to have mad drip so they could flex on all the other chicken farmers. No, they did it because if they don't put the glasses on the chickens, they'll peck each other's eyes out. And then they made the glasses red so that the chickens couldn't see blood, because if one chicken gets hurt and is bleeding, the other chickens will swarm it and kill it. And if another chicken gets hurt during that swarm and that attack, then they'll attack that chicken. And then next thing you know, your entire flock of chickens have murdered themselves in a cage match. But these people don't understand this, nor do they care to try to understand it. So they just get their feelings hurt and get loud about it for no fucking reason, which is infuriating because the farmers are literally doing what you're supposed to do. They're using the entire animal to the best that they can. That's exactly what the Native Americans did. And when you hear about the Native Americans doing it in like elementary school, it's like, oh my God, the Native Americans were such great people. When they had to kill a buffalo, they made sure to use every part of that buffalo. Farmers doing the same shit, but when they do it, they're crazy assholes. And these people are voters, so the government's got to step in to try to make everybody happy. And what the government comes up with is, rather than hosting rabbit drives, they're going to have a bounty and they're going to put it out on these rabbits. Depending on which county or which part of the country you were in at this point in time, it was like 3, 4, or 5 cents per rabbit that you killed. And just for the record, they are still killing the rabbits. They're not like catching them alive and turning them in. No, they're killing them and either cutting off their scalps or their ears and turning in the ears to get a nickel. To be completely intellectually honest, the government didn't invent bounty programs in the 1930s. Jackrabbit bounties existed prior to that into like the mid 1800s, and they were used at like a local level to try to control the population to prevent a boom from happening. But this is the turning point where the government tried to like shift away from rabbit drives completely because of the high visibility and people getting their feelings hurt, and wanted people to pretty much exclusively use a bounty program. Okay, remember, this is the 1930s. This is the Great Depression. People are broke. So now, not only have you incentivized just the farmers to go out and handle the issue to save their farm, you've incentivized everybody that's starving and poor, which is everybody during the Great Depression, to go out and kill these rabbits. You know what a lot of those people aren't doing? They're not using all of the rabbit to the best of its capabilities. They don't really give a shit about animals as far as doing it as quickly and effectively as possible. So now you're going out, they're shooting rabbits. Maybe the rabbits are getting away. They're not getting a good kill shot. It's not a more humane option. But they don't know that because they probably don't understand guns either. They think that if a bullet touches you, it's like magic. You're instantly and painlessly dead, which is just not how it works, because if you don't get a good kill shot, that animal could roam around for days or the rest of its life and die from infection months later. Whereas a sharp blow to the back of the head is actually much safer because there's not a bunch of people roaming around shooting fucking guns everywhere, and it's actually more humane because it just kills the animal pretty much instantly and it's painless, which is why it's still literally the preferred method of killing a rabbit in the manual on how to process a rabbit to this day. You don't believe me? Fuck it, I'll pull it up. What do we got here? Oh, percussive blow to the head. Position the rabbit. Hold the rabbit by its hind legs. Use a heavy but easy to handle object. IG, a club or iron piping. Hit the rabbit on the top of the head just behind the ears. Make sure it's dead. The farmers have literally been doing this the correct, most humane way possible for over 100 years, but to these people that don't understand the issue, that operate on feelings instead of facts, it feels more humane to have a bunch of random fucking people that are starving and poor roaming the countryside with guns, shooting at targets this big, traveling at 45 miles an hour is safer and more humane than a bunch of farmers, aka professionals, getting together, forming a phalanx, and killing the rabbits as humanely as possible. Okay, just so we're on the same page, the job was getting done for free and more effectively by the farmers, but the government wanted to make people feel better, so they stepped in with an alternative solution where it cost money, taxpayer money, and got the job done less efficiently and less humanely. Fucking great job. Terrific.
I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
And you guys are never going to believe this. It doesn't actually fucking work. Why? Because the government literally runs out of money. I found an account from a singular county that was paying a 5-cent bounty. They had to quit paying the bounty and call it off after they had 1 million rabbits turned in and they ran out of money. And I found multiple accounts of this all over the country. Once the governments ran out of money, the farmers were like, okay, well, the problem's not solved yet, and I'm not going to let this rabbit eat all the food so I can't feed my kids and let it kill off all my cattle. We're going to go solve the problem. And that's exactly what they did. They got the boys together, they grabbed their clubs, they set up a fence, and then they killed all the rabbits. And then the journalists started showing up, and then the animal rights activists that don't live in the area and don't understand the problem started hearing about it, and it hurt their feelings, so they got involved. They started criticizing and causing problems for the farmers, or trying to get them to quit, and the farmers said, okay, fuck it, fine. You don't want us to kill the rabbits, we'll catch them, and we'll mail them to your state, and they can fuck up all your shit. And that's exactly what they they did. They caught a fuck ton of rabbits and they tried to ship them to the other part of the country where jackrabbits didn't live so they could deal with the problem. But Animal Wildlife Services winded up putting a stop to it. And for the next like 50 years, this becomes the pattern, right? The jackrabbit population explodes. The farmers go out. They do what they got to do. A bunch of people that don't understand.
Look, my main beef with Reagan is the fucking Reaganomics bullshit that does not work, but so many people are like, oh yeah, this thing's gonna work fine, it's gonna be great, this stuff's gonna no. I do not believe in it. Operation Praying Mantis I can live with. Exactly, Queen. Yeah, Reagan has issues. Like, I'm not saying he was a bad press, but there's some things when I see him, it's just like I'm reminded of, and it just pisses me off. So they put up a fence for the journalists and the animal rights activists. Fair. At least he dispersed the cheese. You know what? I'll give him that. He did disperse the cheese. Also, how you doing, Octavius?
Understand the issue, hear about the issue, get super strong feelings, get really butthurt about it. The farmers pretty much tell them to fuck off. They kill all the rabbits. Then 2 weeks later, nobody actually cares because those people didn't actually care in the first place.
How cute does an animal have to be before you care if it dies to feed you?
Which brings us to the Great Idaho Bunny Bash of 1981. Okay, it's 1981. As far as the issue goes, basically nothing has changed. The jackrabbit population booms every 10 years or so. The farmers got to go out, handle the issue to protect their crops. The only thing that has really changed is now we have television and news. Information now travels much further, much faster, and there's video footage of it. That and capitalism has raised the standard of human living so high that not only can one person make a living bitching about how other people make a living, they can actually go out and found a multi-million-dollar organization, and they can hire a bunch of other people, and they can band together and produce nothing for society, and then turn around and spend all of their life bitching about how the people that do produce shit for society are doing their job. So in Mud Lake, Idaho in 1981, when there was a jackrabbit population boom and they were eating all the farmers' crops, the farmers who are, 40, 50, 60 years old and have already done this 4, 5, 6 times over the course of their life go, it's time to do the thing again, that thing that I've done my entire life and my dad did his entire life and my granddad did his entire life. Call up the boys, bring out the baseball bats and the fence, we got to get rid of these rabbits. So they put out the call in the newspapers, hey, if you want to help get rid of all these rabbits and save our farms, show up at Cletus's farm on Saturday at, whatever time. But remember, news now travels faster and further, so people from out of the community are hearing about this. You've got people coming from hours away from cities to come out and help with this rabbit drive and kill these rabbits, and some people are just showing up to watch. Okay, and I know what some people are thinking, why on earth would you do that? Who would want to go watch farmers kill a bunch of innocent little bunny rabbits? Pretty much everybody, man. This is the 1980s, okay? They didn't grow up with the internet. They didn't have YouTube. They've got TV, and it only has like 10 channels. These people didn't grow up watching Live Leak. So when they hear that a bunch of farmers are grabbing baseball bats and having a Battle of Thermopylae reenactment against some jackrabbits, fuck yeah, they want to go watch. So that's what happens. The farmers put out the call and hundreds of people show up. They got like 400 or 500 people showing up with golf clubs and baseball bats to actually help them. And then they've got hundreds of people standing off to the sidelines just being spectators. People are bringing their kids. They're having fucking barbecues and picnics off to the side. It becomes an event. Then the animal rights groups hear about it and they show up.
Of course.
Nope.
Is there no way we can get rid of him?
Not without cause, Michael.
Also, if anyone doesn't know, whatever you do when it comes to animal rights groups, don't support PETA. Whatever you do. Fuck those guys.
I have cause. It is because I hate him.
In addition to the people that just want to spectate and the people that want to help out, other people from all over the country hear about this. There's a mink farmer in Iowa that gets a hold of these farmers and is like, hey, I'll buy the carcasses for 15 cents a carcass and I'll feed them to my minks. There's also a couple of Nigerian businessmen that get a hold of the farmers and they're like, hey, we'll pay you, like 15 cents per rabbit and then you can process the meat and we'll refrigerate it and ship it back home to Nigeria to feed people. To which the farmers are like, cool, and then we're going to take all the money we make from killing these rabbits, which is something we already have to do, and then we're going to give it back to our community to fund our community projects. They're literally making the best out of a bad situation. And just to be clear, it's not like they get together one time and and kill off hundreds of thousands of rabbits. This is like a process that takes a little bit of time, so it takes place multiple events over the course of weeks or months. Well, after the first event, all these animal rights groups leap into action and basically launch a massive PR campaign trying to paint the farmers as these genocidal maniacs. They immediately rebrand what has been known as a rabbit drive for hundreds of years as the Great Idaho Bunny Bash. They intentionally choose the word bunny because it's the cutest, nicest, most sensitive word that you could possibly apply to a jackrabbit, and even then, the word bunny doesn't really fit to jackrabbit. They then file an injunction against the farmers, trying to prevent them from killing the rabbits. They go to court. The local judge is basically like, I mean, these rabbits have to go. Like, it has to happen. What do you want him to do about it? And eventually the animal rights group was like, well, fine, but we need to find a more humane way to kill the rabbits. And the court and the farmers both are like, okay, yeah, game. I don't want the rabbits to suffer. I don't enjoy this. I just need them dead so they don't eat my crops. If you have a more humane way of doing this, I'm all ears. What ideas do you got? And if you don't believe me, I actually have some quotes. This is from a farmer by the name of Orville Twitchell. He's one of the guys that's kind of spearheading these rabbit drives. And fair warning, he actually literally looks like Elmer Fudd, so I don't think that's helping him very much. But looks aside, he really is just a farmer trying to save his crops that wants to kill these rabbits as humanely as possible. I actually found some quotes from him where he said, and I quote, "I can still hear the squeals, but I had to get over the feeling because we did what we had to do. You're swinging a club dressed in layers in below freezing temperatures, and it didn't end until they were all dead, sometimes 30 to 45 minutes to dispatch an entire pen. No question, it was physically exhausting. Was it gruesome? Yes. Was it necessary? Yes." So the farmers genuinely are open to any ideas of how to do this more humanely and more effectively. The animal rights groups then immediately recommend poisoning them with strychnine.
What?
To which the farmers are like, fucking no, that's a horrible idea for multiple reasons. One, if I'm putting poison out in the wilderness, I have no idea what's gonna eat it, but I do know it's not just gonna be jackrabbits, my dogs, my cattle, my horses, coyotes, literally any other animal can walk up and eat this poison, and I'm not trying to kill them. Secondly, if I poison them, I can't sell them for starving kids in Africa to eat or these minks up in Iowa, so the carcasses are going to waste. That's not good. And thirdly, strychnine is definitely not more humane than a sharp blow to the back of the head. When you poison an animal with strychnine, first it gets muscle aches, and then it starts having seizures that are induced by light, motion, and sound, and it basically dies of exhaustion from having too many seizures over the course of hours or days. That's definitely not more humane than me walking up and bonking a rabbit on the head. That's fucked up. We're not doing that. In a shocking turn of events, it's actually the farmers in court fighting on behalf of what's best for the rabbits and not the animal rights groups. It's almost like they don't actually care, and they're just virtue signaling to feel good. The animal rights groups, realizing that they just got made to look like assholes, come back with a backup idea. They come into court and they're like, hear me out, gas chambers. I'm not kidding.
Are we for real right now? Are we being for real? In what fucking world? What is that timeline? There's no way I heard that. There is no fucking way I heard that right. There ain't no fucking way.
To feel good. The animal rights groups, realizing that they just got made to look like assholes, come back with a backup idea. They come into court and they're like, hear me out, gas chambers. I'm not kidding.
Likes the Jews.
Yes, like the Jews. Oh.
To which the farmers are like, rabbit concentration camps. You want to recreate rabbit Auschwitz. That's what you guys want. You know what? Fuck it. Fine. We'll give it a shot. So at their next rabbit drive, rather than putting up a fence and a pin and driving the rabbits into the fence and then clubbing them, they dug a giant fucking hole and drove the rabbits into the hole, threw a tent over the top, and filled it with carbon monoxide. It didn't really work. It didn't kill all the rabbits. The rabbits that did die actually died from being crushed by the weight of all the other rabbits on top of them, and it was just way less humane, so they abandoned that idea. This is now garnering national attention. Everybody's watching, so the governor gets involved, and the governor and the farmers go to the head veterinarian of Idaho and ask him what is the most humane way to get rid of these rabbits. And the head veterinarian says a sharp blow to the back of the head, just like the fucking textbook says.
Thank
Thank you.
So that's it. Case closed. The local judge rules in favor of the farmers. They go back to hosting their rabbit drives, or as the newspapers claimed, make the fur fly again. At which point, the animal rights activists learn something, they realize their mistake, and they move on with their lives. No, I'm just kidding. They actually go on a massive PR campaign to slander these farmers. The farmers wind up getting thousands of hate mail letters and protesters showing up, and the animal rights groups actually had people dress up as people that were going to help with the rabbit drives and go into the pens and try to fuck with them. They then proceeded to go to the media and paint the entire affair as horrifically as humanly possible. According to intel from their spies, people were playing bunny baseball and there were little kids inside the pens killing rabbits. First of all, yeah, kids are involved. I know that's shocking to some people, but farm kids do farm shit, and this is farm shit.
Shocker.
It's a way of life for these people. That's not a big deal. Secondly, trying to tell the entire country that they're playing bunny baseball like they're turning it into some sick game is fucking disgusting, okay? If they had hundreds of volunteers showing up that weren't farmers, is there a possibility that one asshole grabbed a rabbit, tossed it in the air and said, "Hey, Jimmy, catch," and Jimmy fucking Babe Ruth that motherfucker? Yeah, absolutely. That probably happened. But calling that bunny baseball like it's an organized sporting event, like they're literally got the bases set up and they're fucking underhanding jackrabbits to a 12-year-old, and if he strikes out 3 times, they strap it to a tee and let him fucking clock it so he can run the bases and turn it into a game, absolutely didn't happen. But that's just me operating off of common sense and growing up around farmers my entire life and knowing that these people, A, wouldn't do that, and B, wouldn't allow it to happen in their proximity. That's not enough. I need actual evidence. So I went back and I scoured through newspapers at the time, and guess what I found out? After the animal rights groups started showing up in mass as protesters, you know who else showed up? The sheriff's department. And you want to know what the sheriff's department did? They A, kept the peace, but before every rabbit drive, they told the crowd of volunteers, "We're watching, and if we see any of you doing anything cruel to these animals, we will charge you with a misdemeanor for animal cruelty." Guess how many citations got issued? Fucking 0. The entire thing is just a massive propaganda campaign to paint these farmers like they're psychotic assholes when they're the exact opposite. And unfortunately, it's pretty effective, at least in the court of public opinion, and the farmers didn't really do themselves any favors because they don't have any PR training. They're 40, 50, 60-year-old farmers out in Idaho. They've got journalists and cameras in their face, and when they're asked a question, they say the truth and they say how they feel. Orville Twitchell, the guy from court that's like spearheading this entire thing, when he got interviewed by the journalists and they're like, "How can you have kids out here doing this? Blah, 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 blah." Them not understanding, like, farm kids do farm stuff. They help me on the farm. This is their job too. They're gonna have to do this when they get older. It's been a way of life for generations. They don't get that. So Orville Twitchell just said the truth. He said, and I quote, "I and 3/4 of the rest of the people in the West would rather see kids in that sagebrush, even if they are beating jackrabbits, than have them sitting in front of the boob tube watching sex movies or in Idaho Falls drinking beer and smoking pot."
Amen. Amen. Amen.
So they're kind of inadvertently playing into the stereotypes, which allows these people to spin the entire thing and basically
Imagine farm
rewrite
kids doing
history.
farm
Like,
shit.
looking through
Imagine.
all this, I was finding academic
Mind-blowing
papers about the
concept.
history of rabbit drives and how fucked up they were. And just, the academic papers are insane. You know what? I'm actually going to read you part of the abstract from one of these academic papers so you can see how fucking stupid these people are. Quote, "Great Plains responded to eternal threats from the environment by reasserting masculine domination of nature. In contrast to wealthy big game hunters who primarily used their writing to project their manhood, it was through photographs that drives were practiced, shared, and understood. The camera served to eternally fix the male participants as victors in a staged battle between man and beast.
But wait, there's more.
Indeed, we cannot understand the rabbit drive without understanding its visuality, seeing it as a self-constructed act of masculine theater that was always intended to be observed. In doing so, the rabbit drive shows how seeming crises in the environment have been creatively repositioned as opportunities to in fact protect, reinforce, and exalt masculine control over nature and society."
What the fuck? The fuck did I just hear? What? I want to say that's not real, but I know he generally doesn't fabricate shit like that. What the fuck? It's horrific to have children perform barbaric acts. Instead, we support these kids watching porn, drinking, and getting high. Yes, that's exactly what they want. And instead, yes. You thought you wrote shitty fanfiction in high school. At least shitty fanfiction can be entertaining. At least. I mean, academia can be lame, but that's a whole different category right there. That's some low quality bullshit. I just that's I don't want to go that far, but what the fuck?
Yeah, dickhead, I'm sure that's exactly what happened. Back in the 1800s when farmers were having their entire livelihoods fucking destroyed, so they got together and said, guys, what are we gonna do about this? And one of them said, I think we have to kill all these rabbits. I guarantee you another farmer said, oh my God, Cletus, what a great idea. And we should take pictures and tell everybody about it. That way we can reassert our masculine domination over society and our wives remember who the fucking bosses are. Because apparently there's nothing more manly than killing a fucking rabbit.
It's false. No way. Not this time. No.
If there's one thing that I've learned about farmers growing up around them my entire life is that they're super concerned with like big, abstract societal ideas. They're definitely not just normal people that are trying to get by and raise kids and have a family and go to church and be a productive member of society and feed the world. That's definitely not what they're up to. They're secretly getting together and plotting, having maniacal plans on how they can exercise their toxic masculine domination over society via killing bunny rabbits. That's exactly what the farmers are fucking up to. And you morons wonder why people are losing respect for academia when you publish stupid bullshit like this. I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked and pissed off. Anyways, the Idaho farmers now have the green light from the local court to continue doing what they're doing, so that's exactly what they do. They keep hosting rabbit drives, they keep killing the rabbits, they keep saving their farms. Meanwhile, the animal rights groups continue to harass them and fuck with them and slander them all over the media, and then they take them to court again on an appeal, and they appeal them all the way up to the Supreme Court of Idaho. In the Supreme Court case, it comes out that they were having spies infiltrate as volunteers, gathering intel, and then they used all this supposed intel to basically slander the farmers and paint the whole thing as some barbaric event. They're telling the judge, like, they're playing bunny baseball and they're having children do this, blah, 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 blah. To which the Supreme Court is like, are you guys playing bunny baseball? And the farmers are like, no. Okay, well, don't. And they're like, cool, okay. Are you having kids do this? To which the farmers were like, I mean, I'm not checking driver's licenses for ages. If some farmer or volunteer wants to bring their child out here to do this, they're more than welcome to do it. I'm not gonna stop them. And the judge is like, okay, well, let's just call it 12 years old. You gotta be 12 to participate. And the farmers are like, you got it, that's fine. From here, farmers win, they get the green light to continue. They continue the rabbit drives until they've solved the problem, and then the issue disappears into history. And I know what you're thinking, 1981 was like 40 some odd years ago. How come there hasn't been another major jackrabbit population boom? In addition to that, DNR and wildlife services are much more advanced in understanding about how ecosystems work, and they regulate the killing of predators of jackrabbits much more strictly, and all of this comes to allow a more natural control of the jackrabbit population. But that doesn't necessarily guarantee that a jackrabbit population boom will never happen again. And if it does, I'm absolutely positive the farmers will do whatever has to get done. And I'm also, unfortunately, absolutely positive that the animal rights groups and the academics will be right there talking shit and rewriting history the entire time. And that is the story of the Great Idaho Bunny Bash of 1981, aka a rabbit drive, something that had been happening on this continent for thousands of years, literally predating written history, that animal rights groups and academics then utilized to slander hardworking farmers that were doing nothing more than simply trying to get by. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch, maybe drink some Echelon. Links to both of those over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out. I'm gonna be honest, this entire video started just because I saw a meme about the Bunny Bash of 1981 in Idaho, and I like thought it was interesting or funny or crazy that like farmers were going out and beating up rabbits with baseball bats. And then the more I looked into it, I realized that it was just a giant hit piece on farmers that were literally just trying to survive, and it pissed me off.
Bunny baseball sounds like something Hugh Hefner would have supported. I think something would have been more accepting in that context, but then it wouldn't have had much of the time trying to screw narratives. Fucking hell. Fucking bunny baseball, what the fuck? Oh, I am happy that it was not like that it was jackrabbits and not like the usual like Peter Cottontail that I was thinking of initially when I just read the vid title. It's the approved version for kids. Curl clutching bastards. Yeah, and then you got the virtue signalers and all this other shit. If you think you hate journalists enough, you don't. Like, part of me wants to think that someone wouldn't publish something similar to like that in this day and age, but I also know that is very much wishful thinking. So instead, you got the Cottontail's weird cousin who might be on drugs. I mean, the jackrabbits are something. I'll give them that. They are something. But, granted, I mean, I still don't like it, but at the same time, I understand. I mean, granted, if they hadn't just, murdered killed all the coyotes and all the other natural predators for the stuff, they probably wouldn't have had much of a problem. But, that's Trishan. I think Nick would be an interesting individual to sit down and talk to. I think he'd be an interesting individual. He seems from the couple times I've emailed him, he's seemed pretty chill. You should have asked us for some emus. Animal activists can't really. Okay. Okay. So, Lil, hear me out. Actually, this is not a hear me out. This is a question. This is my brain running on like 3 hours of sleep. Why would we want emus? But they're a different kind of problem. Oh yeah, for sure. 100% is a different kind of problem. It's like yeah, it because it still would have, because if they hadn't done that, they still would have called the coyotes. We've been still dealing with the other issues. So it would just, I think it would have just delayed it. I don't know why we would want emus. I'm not following well. To balance the ecosystem. I'm not really familiar with emus to begin with, so I'm not really sure. Because it'd be a problem that they couldn't be like, don't pull out the 50 cal for. Since the things would still walk away. Fair. Am I familiar with Morpars? I've heard of them. I may have watched a video on the emus a while back, but I don't think I watched it on stream. Can you write an emu like a chocobo? I think that would be fun. Who needs cars? Let's just ride emus around everywhere if they were large. Actually, no, I think that would actually be kind of terrifying, actually. Scratch that thought. Wait, I don't want that. Coyotes are impossible to exterminate. Yeah, they do. This is true about coyotes. Yeah, like I'm pretty. I've only watched a video on the emo war and stuff, but I'm not too familiar. Hey, Odin, how you doing? I would not suggest it. I mean, well, what if I want to ride a giant emu around? What if I want to? We can give it some fancy armor and everything. It'll be great. And maybe it's a little terrifying. It'll be great. Who the fuck am I kidding? That'd be fucking terrifying. Fuck. Let's see. What else do I got? You can also want to ride a kangaroo. Doesn't mean you're living through Earth or living through trying to ride it. Listen. I'm not dumb enough to want to try anything with a kangaroo, because I know a kangaroo will knock me on my fucking ass. Like, I can be stupid, but I'm not that stupid. Hey, Ozzy, how you doing? We have Chocobo Night Ami. Machi sounds really adorable. You'd rather have too many rabbits and too many coyotes. True, because rabbits are a lot easier to with food stuff. When you were a child, a kangaroo walked up to you and sat on your foot. Well, that's just rude. Having not seen the emu's weaponry? No, Lilith, I have not. I have not seen the arsenal of the emu. Yeah, I'm trying to pronounce emu. It's gonna come out wherever the fuck it comes out at this point. You could just send it to me on, you can just send it to me on Discord. The kangaroo is very insistent that you pet it. Look, I hate to say it, like, well, I think it would be amazing. I would be terrified to interact with a kangaroo because I know how dangerous those motherfuckers are. She got grumpy when you had to leave. Oh no. It's Australia. And they grew up here unless it's a koala. Basically everything could kill you if it wants to. Okay, you know what? That's valid. That's valid. I'll let you have that one. I would love to pet a koala. Granted, I'm not sure how friendly they are, because they generally look pretty sleepy. But that might be because of what they eat. You've got a pretty dangerous and just get really friendly with you. You just got the touch. Well, those are legit not that bad. So what you're saying is there's a chance. They're the animal stoners of Australia. Wait, what? What do you mean? What do you mean koalas are the animal stoners of Australia? What do you mean? I mean, I could see considering evil. Spooters, I can understand. Yeah, that's fine. You may. Fucking hell. Oh, let me give this video a like here so I know that I've seen it. Let's see, what else do we got? Da, 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 da. Alright. Let us switch over to some Kentucky ballistics, I think. I'll grab this one, I think. See you all sturdy like it wanted to eat you. You know what? Fair. Let me clear this so I can see my entire taskbar again. Basically, koalas are super chill, spending most of their time eating, sleeping, and falling out of trees. Oh, so they just like me for real, just eat and sleep, and sometimes falling out of bed. They just like me for real. Alright. Alright, Ozzy, I will check it out later. Alright. So today we're gonna do this Kentucky Ballistics video of medieval weapons versus the modern warrior. How lethal are medieval weapons? Wait a minute, drop bears. I think I looked this up once. Alright, let us see how the medieval weapons compare. Which I know we've seen a couple things involving some like the really like older first kind of things of like firearms, but actual medieval weapons, I am really curious to see how this is gonna go.
Who's this guy? Hey! What are you doing?
I love he's cross-eyed.
I will defeat both of you!
Nice surprise about it is. Taco, you've walked into Kentucky Ballistics. That's what you walked into. This cost for the worst press Metal Gear. Maybe.
What's up, everybody?
Holy, it's a long blade.
Watching Kentucky Ballistics, and not too long ago, I bought this little guy, and I've been having a lot of fun with it, and it got me thinking, how useful would medieval weapons be in the modern era? So today I have a plethora of medieval weapons. I have a ballistic dummy lab zombie torso, and I have modern armor. We are going to put these to the test against medieval weaponry and see how effective they would be, or are they outdated?
Yes, you would.
Let's get set up and get started. Okay, first things first, we're going to see how lethal these things are against an unarmored subject. So I have a ballistic dummy labs zombie bust right here. And our first weapon, I don't really know the name of it. I really don't know the name of any of the weapons we have today.
Really?
So I'm just gonna give them my own. This is the spiky meatball on a stick. And I'm just gonna give it a good whack and see what happens. All right, here we go.
Morning Star, yeah.
I bent my stick. That's not very high quality, is it? But I will say that that definitely looks pretty lethal. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but that's still pretty bad. So I was not very impressed with the spiky meatball on a stick. So up next, I've got this thing. It looks pretty mean. It is very spiky,
No,
and this is solid. Like, this is one solid piece of metal.
I mean,
I'm gonna call.
To be fair, though, it probably would be unless, especially if you're not used to like trying to source them. It probably would be really difficult to find and probably expensive, importantly, to get your hands on good replicas for medieval weapons. Yeah, sometimes my brain mixes up like the mace, Morningstar, and even though I don't really get mixed up as the flail. But yeah, I sometimes mix up the mace and the Morningstar. Yeah, and that's not even counting like whatever local laws that may be involved in trying to get those like shipped and curated as well through the mail. So yeah, the flail has a chain.
Call this the spiky scepter. I got higher hopes for this one. Oh!
Face a tri-yield mace for the modern mace versus modern mace. No, I don't think that's gonna work very well.
Yeah, that was pretty gnarly. I'm definitely gonna say that's
a little
lethal.
toast.
That's real bad. Oh dear.
Yeah, he's toast. Mason, no. Well, if he wasn't dead already, he's dead now.
So I think we've established that medieval weapons are indeed lethal. But now what we're going to find out is how effective would medieval weaponry be against modern armor. So this is a ballistic helmet. This is rated for most pistol rounds, I think all the way up to 44 Magnum. So we're going to put this on a new, fresh zombie bust, and we're going to take another whack at it with the spiky scepter. Okie dokie. Here we go. Yeah!
Well.
Wow. That definitely looked... Oh, it bent it. It bent my spiky scepter. Darn it. And he looks good. He looks solid. Our helmet... We didn't even penetrate it. Doesn't look like we have much damage at all. So, the modern helmet, modern armor, at least against this particular medieval weapon, did a pretty good job. You know, this guy is pretty ugly, but you know what else is ugly? Debt. It seems like most people have experienced debt or are currently in debt, and it's really easy to accumulate a lot of it. And once you do, it can be very difficult to dig yourself out. I too have experienced debt, but at the time there were not many options out there. But thankfully now there's companies like today's sponsor, PDS Debt.
It makes me wonder how well that would do.
PDS Debt has customized solutions for anyone struggling with debt, whether it be personal loans, collections, credit cards, or medical bills. Oh, that is quite a mess, and I don't really feel like cleaning that up. But PDS Debt can help you clean up your mess. They will roll all of your monthly payments into one low monthly payment.
Not the cosmetic damage,
Everyone with 10,000 or more in eligible debt qualifies, and there's no minimum credit score required. Bad and fair credit is accepted. PDS Debt will help you to save thousands in interest and fees and help you to pay off your debt in a fraction of the time. Right now, PDS Debt is offering a free debt analysis, and it only takes 30 seconds. All you gotta do is swing over to pdsdebt.com/KYB to start your free debt analysis today. Or you can find that link in the description down below. A big thank you to PDS Debt for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to it. Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and step it up a little bit. I've got an even bigger spiky ball, but this one's on a chain. I'm gonna give this thing a few swings and see what happens. There we go. Oh, I missed. Darn it.
Yeah, they do take some aim.
That was a close one. Gonna have to dig.
Yeah, get out of the table first.
That's in there good.
Oh, I wonder if he's actually gonna break the table trying to use this. It's making me wonder. Assuming he can get out of the table at this rate.
We almost got it. Maybe I'll hit it this time. 1, 2, 3. Oh!
His neck looks like he's not gonna have a good time.
We did some damage to that helmet that time. We've got a pretty good little notch right there, but I don't believe we did any real damage to, oh dear. Well, he's got a little bit of a hemorrhage. It's just sticking out right there. Oh, just push it back in. No big deal. Not a big deal at all.
Just walk it off.
Pop right back in there. Also, his skull is kind of cracked. So we still managed to do quite a bit of damage with this medieval weapon, even with this modern armor. Man, that was a really hard hit. It's time to get a little more serious and step it up another notch. This here is my meat tenderizer, and it has a very pointy spike on the end, and I've got high hopes for this one.
I love his names for these.
We almost penetrated the helmet with the spiky ball on a chain, so I think that this one has a pretty good shot. Okay, here we go.
Oh my god. Is it mini back? Huh.
Well, I think I could have hit a little bit harder, but we hit right there. And there is a good little pinhole right there. But I think we can do better. I was kind of afraid I was going to break this thing, but I'm going to be a little braver this time. Also, I can't see anything. And where's my helmet? There you go.
Well, he's definitely hemorrhaging again.
Let's have
or did
a look,
he did go back in?
I hit that really hard, and I'm not really sure where I even hit. To be quite honest, I think right there.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm still back to Corbin.
Oh, I think we made it through actually. Let me take out this pad. Yeah. We've got a little hole right there. And then if you look right here, we've got a little new notch right there with a little hole. So we didn't make it very far through the helmet, but we did make it through the helmet. And honestly, I think that's pretty impressive. Before we move on, let's go ahead and take a whack with the hammer portion of this and an unarmored subject. Oh, gosh!
He's toast. He's toast.
I'm going to say this is pretty effective. I would definitely want to be wearing some sort of a helmet if somebody had one of these, because that was just pretty awful. That's pretty awful. I got it on my pants. Darn it. Luckily, though, I did not get, well, I did. I got some on my shirt. Just a little bit. But it's still okay. If you would like to pick up one of my limited edition 3-year anniversary shirts that does not have blue stains on it, you should swing over to KentuckyBallistics.com. There's a link in the description down below. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications. I feel like this is what the cleanup crew was like back in the gladiator days, you know? I'm just clearing all this off here. Poor Jim. Okay, it is time to move on to a full-blown zombie torso. I'm placing the armored helmet on it, and we have some Premier Body Armor soft armor. This is level 3A, and it's rated up to 44 Magnum. Now, I don't really expect this next weapon to penetrate said soft armor, but we're going to take a whack at it anyways. Ah!
be some bruising.
So obviously we did not penetrate the body armor. His head is, oh, that's not good. I think there's a good chance his head might fall off. So I can feel a pop. Nothing a little duct tape can't fix. Let's put that right there. Just kind of pull his head
Duct tape
back.
holds the universe together.
So when it comes to this soft armor, I'm a lot more interested in pointy and sharp weaponry than I am blunt force weaponry. So we have a sword, and I'm gonna take a whack at this thing this way, and I'm gonna try to stab it and see if the modern soft armor will hold up to this medieval masterpiece. Oh!
Let me cut the fabric.
Oh dear. Okay, we need to check that out. We cut this whole part of the carrier and we cut into that armor just a tad.
Solid edge alignment.
We definitely didn't make it all the way through it, but my goodness, that is actually pretty darn sharp. Okay, I got some gloves on now. I am going to try to stab, and then I'm going to take one more whack at the swinging, but we'll try to slice a little more. All right, here we go.
Your blade's a little flimsy, my guy. Minimums, I think, strictly. Yeah? It's definitely feeling it.
You got, well, wow. Actually, you know what? We may have done more damage than I thought. Let's take this off here. Ooh. Okay. It's all good and cut up. We can just kind of
True.
that
You
off
want
there.
some flex, yeah.
Actually cut through quite a few layers. But we did not make it through the back. So it seems like our path to victory today when it comes to medieval weapons against modern armor is having something pointy. So up next, we have a spear. Okay, now the next question is, am I actually going to be able to hit him? So ain't nothing to it but to do it, right? Yeah! Oh, we actually hit it.
Boing.
Yeah, I don't think that we made it through. That bounced right off of there. I'm going to take another whack at this. I'm not really sure what the proper technique is for spear throwing, but I'm just going to try to throw it harder. Yeah!
Terrified, but I think it'd be curious. But I think it could also be interesting.
Well, I can feel a little bit of a bulge, but it did not make it through it. Man, that is not going in. Like, that is really tough.
Hey, Aquafire, hope you're doing well.
Yeah! Oh!
I mean, yeah, it's gonna go in when you don't have the armor on.
I tell you what, I'm feeling pretty good about my spear throwing technique. That's pretty effective right there. And you definitely, yep, that would do it. I would definitely want to be wearing my body armor.
Oh no, he's
Not
been
so
impaled.
much luck with the spear, but I feel pretty good about the old meat tenderizer. I think I may be able to drive that through there. We're gonna take a shot at it. So, let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yep, that did it.
But yeah, the quality of crossing does not seem to be the same.
That went right through that soft armor, and it looks like we hit, that's where we hit. Right in that spot, right there. Oh, yeah. So for my final weapon today, I have the 4-bore of swords. This is a 9-foot-long claymore. Oh, this thing's a little hard to wield.
I mean, it's 9 foot Oh, what do you
Okay.
expect?
Here we go.
Claymost. Hey, Mad Hatter, hope you're doing well today.
Okay. I don't know who constructed this sword,
It's a
but
little
it wasn't
flimsy.
made for a man of my stature, apparently. I guess I put a lot of force behind that, and it's, well, it's bent, and the handle broke off. Wow. I'm so
It
happy
got
that I didn't
scammed, my
pay
buddy.
like $1,500 for that sword, because I totally didn't. Let's take a look at Mr. Zombie here. I hit the strap, and we did absolutely nothing.
Jack.
Not a
Absolute
darn
jack
thing.
shit.
It's perfectly fine.
Somewhere between diddly and squat. Yeah, diddly squat.
Did I hit him? Yep. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, that was pretty effective.
That was something.
Not bad for a dull sword. That sword does not have an edge on it. Okay, now let's see what I can do with a smaller sword that I can maneuver better and has quite an edge on it. Shah! Shah! Okay, yeah, that was definitely more effective. Right there is a pretty good shot. That's way more effective than a bigger sword.
Yeah, it's pretty warm over here. Oh, the pitchfork! Let's go! Joust. That's great. Got the bike too. Jesus, it's already dead. The Kentucky Cavalry.
Okay, well, I have come to the conclusion that medieval weapons are no longer relevant, at least in my humble opinion. We had a very hard time defeating modern armor with medieval weapons, and honestly, I had a hard time in general defeating a zombie torso with the medieval weapons. I mean, I did more damage with my mini bike than I did with all of my weapons combined. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's a no-go for me, and I'm gonna stick with modern technology. Let me know what you thought about them in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, be sure and give today's video a like, and be sure and hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure and check me out on all social media platforms. Links to all those can be found in the description down below, along with a link to KentuckyBallistics.com, just in case you want to pick up one of my limited shirts. And as always, my name is Scott. Thank you so much for watching Kentucky Ballistics, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah. See, I am still disappointed that he did not break the table with the Morning Star. I'm still disappointed by that. I was hoping he would have broke with the Morning Star, but can't be helped. I mean, Yeah, I think modern weapons would do better in modern armor, yes. But I think some of them still be good for some home defense. Because, I mean, who's gonna really, because most people who do a double take FD are gonna get charged with, like, a flail, a mace, a morning star, a sword. You know, because people do a double take because that's not what they expect. Or hell, even the fucking machete. the, the mini Beck was effective, yes. It was very effective. But I mean, it has to end like a pick, though. I mean, like, it will do quite well, I think. And even then, you could use it for other purposes. I don't know what yet, but yeah. Can be useful. At least the end of it. Well, I can't think of a really big, large use for the pick, though, unless you were trying to, like, bust some rocks or something. Yeah, some rocks do have some pretty insides, though. Because geodes are pretty nice to look at. I mean, anything's really useful when anyone's trying to invade your property, no matter what side they're on. Can opener while at camp? I mean, could work. Might be a little much, though. But I could see it, yeah. Probably very conventional. Because I feel like if you were going to theoretically you were going to use that at camp to use the can opener. Because I feel like you'd have to have the can would have to be considerably thick, though, so you don't like pierce all the way through. Because depending on how hard you go through it, you might just be leaking the entire contents of the can when you take it out. So, I mean, maybe, I guess, depending on what it is. Besides... yeah, you aren't swinging for the fences. Why not? Why not swing for the fences? I mean, why not? Go big or go home, right? Guys gotta eat. I mean... yeah? Yeah? God, I miss doing archery. I miss archery so much. Yeah, I think I've seen you around a little bit on Twitter, I think. I'm neutral. I do not believe in policing people in what they want to do. If people want to dabble with it, they can. If they don't want to, that's fine. I'm not telling someone what the fuck they should be doing with their spare time. So I guess that would tend to put me under friendly. Tore out public court near you. So, where I grew up, there was... I grew up, like, in the middle of nowhere. And then, so... And then, because I lived in, like, there with, like, a lot of, like, farmland stuff when I was growing up. And we had a, like, designated, like, archery shop kind of deal. That was, like, down the road. And it was a lot of fun. Granted, like, I will say this, I was not the greatest at it, which probably, part of it would probably have to do with the fact I did not have my glasses that help me see, because holy shit, my vision was not even that great when I was younger. Probably too much looking at the sun, if I'm being honest, because everything looks really pretty when you don't have a bunch of fucking city bullshit in the way. These two human thing was making me weak. It was really fun. And honestly, I really miss it, even though I do admit I do not have I mean, I could still, technically, I could still string a bow and whatnot. But I would not be able to use, like, the bow I used to have, because I no longer have the, I don't have the strength anymore in this arm to, be able to draw back. But I will say 10 out of 10 though, if you get an opportunity, and you really like stargazing or whatever, and I will say, 100%, or even if you don't like stargazing, and you were, like, say, you're in an area with, like, a lot of light, and you've generally only been in a place with, like, a lot of light pollution, you should at least once, on a clear night, you should head out somewhere where there's not as much light pollution, and just look at the sky. Just look at it. It's fucking gorgeous. Okay? Just do it at least once. Because that shit will fucking stick with you. Because I still have a very, like, because I cannot really visualize, I don't really remember much from my, like, younger years for multiple reasons I'm not getting into. But where I lived, we had very limited light pollution. And like 9, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, could easily just go outside, lay in the grass. You just look up into, like, we could see the fucking Milky Way where I lived, and it was so fucking pretty. And honestly, I miss that shit. I miss it a lot. So many stars. Like, oh yeah. It's like if you think even like really being on the outskirts is pretty, like, go farther out. Like just go farther out. Go towards farmland. Like, trust. It's 100%. It's worth it. 100%. I haven't done this. So yeah. Oh, thanks, creation. So yeah, it's a treat. Alright, let's see, what else do I got for today? Before the 3 hours of sleep catches up with me and makes me have to go to sleep. What do we got? Do we want the Darwin Awards, or do we want another Kentucky Ballistics video? Let's see. It is almost 7. Oh, thanks for the follow, Lancer. Darwin Awards gets your vote. Valid. We haven't done Darwin Awards in a minute. It's been a couple weeks. No, Darwin Awards might be a nice thing to end on. Let's see. So many things happening. Yeah, everything happens. A lot happens. But sometimes we can just try and keep up with it. And I will apologize in advance. I am extremely easily distracted. Here we go again. Yeah. Hey, welcome in, AJ. How you doing? Alright. The worst internet gun fails. I believe we left off on number 10. The new Madoka trailer, shooting in Germany, Congress passed some censorship bill. Censorship shit doesn't surprise me. I will say my state's governor's an idiot by having a requirement for something that was already required, but here we are. I will still say I think one of the stupidest things I've had to deal with, especially like on social media, and it's so fucking stupid. Because, so, I have a tendency when there's a new social platform that I will try to secure my handle so I don't have to worry about anybody taking it, using it, whatever the fuck, because there's a lot of bad actors in the world. And I remember at one point, it was Blue Sky. Which I don't use it. I used it for a little bit, but I mostly just got on there to lock my name down. And I went through and it's like, oh, I got a message. And I look and I open the little DM shit. And it's like, oh yeah, so due to local laws or whatever, we need your ID. And it's like, yeah, you guys can politely go fuck yourself. You're not getting that? Like, no. Hey, welcome in Reapers, hope you're doing well today. Like, there's a lot they could have asked for, but like, no, I am not giving my fucking government ID to a fucking social media platform. You're crazy. Especially just to access fucking DMs. I don't know what you're smoking, but honestly, I kind of want it, because what in the delusion makes you think that's okay? Like I don't need DMs that badly. Like, please. There is no way I'm giving you my ID just so you can look just for fucking DMs. No, absolutely not. Granted, I don't even really like DMing people much to begin with, but like, it's like, it's one thing if, say, I was like monetized on something or whatever for something, shit like that. I can be more behind. Yeah, but you need your ID for other reasons. Shit like that, I can get behind. But you just want my ID just so I can look at fucking DMs? No, please, miss me with that bullshit and go and take it all the way the fuck over there. Actually, no, take it fucking farther. I don't want to see it. I think it's fucking stupid. Just like, oh well, we should be limiting the age for like social media in certain places. I was like, no, they're just gonna find a fucking way around it. Like, it's dumb. Granted. I'm going to. If fucking people actually supervised and parented their children, we would not be in this fucking situation in a lot of regards. And it still pisses me off. Because if you have a child, even like teenage years, they're gonna do stupid shit on the internet. The least you can do is be fucking aware of it and keep an eye on it. I was stupid when I was younger. I did stupid shit. And probably some shit I fucking regret. Yeah, I'll admit it. But I probably would have gotten a lot more shit if my uncle hadn't been like, hey, dumbass, we're gonna go sit down, we're gonna have a little chat, and I'm gonna knock your fucking head on straight. Oh, I miss that old man. Raised by your family stuff won't be a problem. Well, it's like, well, there's a saying, where it takes a village, right? But the problem is the village doesn't exist anymore. The villages are rare. Like, I know, I hate this, because I've I've been around, because I was on my own for a while with some shit. Found my people again, which is great. Then some shit happened, and moving back here, or technically moving here, I should say, because I didn't move back here because this was my first time moving to Ohio at that time, and got back involved in my niece and nephew's lives and all this stuff. But then it kind of baffled me when I was starting to kind of get to meet some of my niece and nephew's friends, some a little bit, and it's like the family doesn't really exist anymore. That's like, oh yeah, it takes a village to raise, and it's like there is no real villages anymore. Like, no, yes, don't get me wrong. I get this. I get what you're saying, but I am not talking like actual village. I am talking like family matters more so. That there is even a large absence on that. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, you should be raising your blah blah. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying is that the support network that a lot of people that was used for like when I was growing up, when like my parents were growing up and so forth, that kind of thing is no longer in existence, is what I'm saying. Metaphorically, yeah. I'm not being literal. It kind of baffles me a little bit. And on one hand, it doesn't help, that like everything got really stupid fucking expensive, that everyone has to like work like 2-3 fucking jobs. Like, I'm fortunate that I can get away just working one job full time and pretty much practically be able to afford what I need. I know I'm lucky in that regard. I know I'm lucky. Granted, there's a couple months that got a little spicy, but it is what it is. I know I'm fortunate, but at the same time, it's like, I know there's a lot of other people who don't have that luxury, or they're stuck in these really shitty situations that they can't exactly easily find their way out of. It's like, it's a multi-layered issue that doesn't have an easy solution. It's like telling someone who's been homeless for years to go get a job. To get a job, they need a phone. Sometimes they can't afford a phone. Even if they get the phone, they still need shit. They say they got the interview. They still need good clothes for the interview. But really good clothes can be really expensive, even from fucking thrifting these days, because of people fucking going through, finding all these weird finds, and everything they just trying to charge all through the roof. It's all these like multi-layered issues, and it's gotten to the point that there's no ever really easy fix to said problem. And I'm saying that having been homeless. I fucking hate it. I'm going to get myself worked up. This is fine. Everything's fine. But society's on fire. And there's no water. Okay. You know what? No, I'm putting on Darwin words. I am moving on from this subject before I get myself in a whole fucking mood. Drop your future children on your grandparents. Listen. I wouldn't even trust my own. If I had a child, if I had one, my mother is not being anywhere near that kid. 100%, absolutely not. And if anyone knows the story behind that, y'all know why. But that is not a story for stream. That is not something I'm getting into. My family is fucked up. Anyway. They're in the words. Everything's fine.
Almost gives the crowd a haircut there. What is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers, and welcome back to another episode of the Darwin Awards. As we like to say in this series, guns are awesome. Idiots, on the other hand, not so much. When you put the two of those things together, you might end up with the winner of a Darwin Award. A Darwin Award, of course, being the metaphorical award that you get when you remove yourself from the gene pool. At least it was metaphorical, until one of you and Bernie made one and dropped it off for us. Which is very cool, by the way. Thank you. Now, for those of you who are new to the series or our YouTube manual reviewer, first of all, hi there. But the Darwin Awards is a series where we look at videos of people doing stupid stuff with guns and or explosives and kind of use it as a teachable moment. Some of the videos you're about to see, of course, do result in injury and such, but we do censor it to make sure that it's still, YouTube friendly. Not like these stay monetized anyway, but what the hell. Now, this video went super viral and literally hundreds of you guys sent this in to me, so let's take a look. Flexing with a gun for social media. That never goes wrong. So it starts with her racking the slide of the gun, chambering around, holding it against her head, and
No.
and then that.
Couple millimeters? God.
Man, we're getting to the 4 rules of basic gun safety really early this episode. Delance, if you could put that up on screen, please. There are 4 major rules of gun safety, and she violated 3 of them. You don't point your gun at anything you're not willing to destroy, you keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot, and you treat every gun as if it's loaded. And of course, the 4th rule is, be sure of your target and what's behind it. See, the neat part about those rules is that you usually have to violate more than one to have a bad accident. Wait, holy shit, I never watched this far. I just realized there's a little girl at the bottom of the frame. What the fuck? Why are you trying to be a gangster on social media waving a loaded gun around next to what I'm assuming is your daughter or
Win
little
stupid
sister or
games,
something?
play stupid games, win stupid
We do not have a gun
prizes.
problem in this country. We have a crippling culture problem. Anyhow, I hope she didn't have any upstairs neighbors that bullet could have hit. And I am glad she's okay, but I hope that stylish new haircut from that bullet graze is enough to remind her, maybe be safe with firearms in the future. Alright, so just with the first frame of this video, we know this is gonna be good. So we've got 2 wannabe gangsters flexing their shit-tier budget guns, acting hard like they know what to do with them. They don't. But let's see what happens when this genius decides to draw his shitty AR pistol using, wait for it, the fucking trigger.
Wait, what?
And bang. Yeah.
Why
Keep
would you pick
your
it up with
finger
the trigger?
off
What the fuck is
the
wrong with
trigger.
you?
Homeboy got super lucky there, by the way. This was almost 2 different kinds of Darwin Awards. 1, he almost blew off the twig and berries, which removes you from the gene pool for obvious reasons. 2, that was so close to being a thigh shot. If homie wasn't so good at skipping leg day, that could have easily been a life-threatening femoral bleed. Which, by the way, is why it's stupid when you hear people say, oh, you don't have to kill him, just shoot him in the legs. Guess what? Your upper legs are densely packed with a bunch of shit that likes to spew out life juice much.
Hey, Thunderspear, if you could find a clip of that, because I have never heard that quote before, if you could send me, if you found a clip with that quote on that, I'd love to hear it.
Faster than most people can stop it. You get a good hit to the femoral artery, and you probably have less than a minute to stop that bleed before you pass out, probably less than 3 before you fucking die.
Carl, that kills people!
So yeah, he's probably lucky he just got a slight burn and destroyed whatever knockoff designer jeans he had, instead of repainting the kitchen floor of whatever family member's house he's crashing at. Now, this is normally the part where I'd say that, clips like this usually cause people anxiety, obviously because of the subject matter. And to combat that, you should probably try one of our great sponsors like Canadips CBD. Well, that's where you'd be fucking wrong. Well, you'd be right. We are sponsored by Canadips, but it's their new blends. Go Fuel and Sleep Fuel. Go Fuel is, of course, for energy. It's CBG and caffeine in a way that gives you jitter-free energy but sharp focus, which is why I'm able to film this video for you guys at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. And once I'm done with this, I'm gonna take some Sleep Fuel so I can actually go the fuck to sleep. This shit'll have you yawning in less than 30 minutes. Oh, that's right, you can put in a dip to go to bed. Because fucking Alabama, I guess. Hell yeah, roll tide! Pass the guns and whiskey, brother! So in layman's terms, whether you want to wake the fuck up or knock the fuck out, Canadips has the shit for you. They've got a couple new flavors for each, and if you want to try it out, all you have to do is use the code Let's Go Brandon for 30% off. It's legal in all 50 states, so if you want to try it out, go ahead and click the link down below. And remember, use the code Let's Go Brandon. To support me. Anyhow, we appreciate them being a sponsor. Now on to our next video. Now, is it even a Darwin Awards video if we don't see one celebration in the Middle East gone wrong? I mean, it's kind of a staple of the show at this point. But here in this clip, we have a guy who has a, frankly, pretty dope milled AK, and he's going to be shooting it full auto in the air one-handed because culturally, that's just what you do, I guess. Now, of course, shooting up in the air isn't really safe because, you know, those bullets have to land somewhere. But this guy's bullets are going to land a little closer than you think. Oh boy,
I'm scared. Bruh.
Almost gives the crowd a fucking haircut there. I can't tell if that dude's putting his arms up like, hey, what the fuck, bro? Or just like, oh, okay, we didn't get shot. This is dope. And of course he finishes out the magazine because, you know, he's not a quitter. But yeah, shooting guns up in the air, bad idea. Now, if that clip made your asshole pucker, go ahead and subscribe. This is actually the 10th Darwin Awards video we've done here on the channel, so if you guys want to check out the rest of them, go ahead and click the link down in the description. I'll go ahead and put the playlist up there. But seriously, while you're down there, go ahead and subscribe. That way you don't miss the next one. Assuming we don't get a strike for this one, which is not impossible.
Oh boy.
Anyhow, here's a clip I've been waiting to show you guys for a long time. Judging by the color scheme, I'm assuming this is probably a Little Caesars. And we have this gentleman fiddling around in his pocket waiting for his pizza. I wonder where this could be going. And he has a negligent discharge.
Ooh! Bruh.
I have no clue.
This guy's so bad at playing this off. He just kind of has that nervous laughter like he just ripped a giant fart in church. What was that? I have no clue.
I don't know what that was.
I have no clue.
Terrible actor.
Dude, his laughs are super creepy too.
I'm guessing so.
That was loud for being a door. Yeah.
Alright, this dude totally knows what's up. He's not calling him on it directly, but
he knows.
You know he knows. Yeah, but after just awkwardly standing around for a minute like he didn't just put a fucking hole in their floor, he grabs his pizza and promptly leaves. Now, of course, I don't know what he was carrying, but if he's carrying in his pocket, it's probably something like one of those little pocket revolvers or something. Which leads me back to what I mentioned in our previous video. I fucking hate these little pocket guns. I hate pocket carry weapons.
I'm probably search banned again.
Especially if you don't have the trigger guard completely covered. We're dudes. We got nothing to do. We put our hands in our pockets. We fidget with shit when we're bored. It just so happens that this guy was fidgeting with a fucking loaded gun. Again, he's lucky he doesn't seem to have hit himself at all. Otherwise, I feel like he'd be a lot more stressed and a little bit, you know, more obviously hurt. I just hope he learned a valuable lesson from this, and hopefully he tipped well. And maybe left a business card for a good tile guy. Now I'm gonna warn you, this one is gonna look graphic as fuck. It's not as bad as it looks, and I'll explain that in a second. But he's on the Darwin Awards, so it still is bad. So let's take a look. So this guy over here on the right is passing over what looks to be a handgun to the gentleman in the yellow shirt. What do you do when a stranger hands you a gun? Well, he immediately racks the slide, points it at his head, and yeah, somehow managing to violate all of the rules of gun safety at once. Didn't treat the gun like it was loaded, didn't keep his finger off the trigger, pointed it at something he probably wasn't willing to destroy, and did not give a fuck about his target or what was behind it. However, as bad as it looks, our guy is okay. I mean, he's clearly distraught and, you know, not having a good fucking time, that's for sure. But he just took a handgun to the brain basket. What's going on here? So based on what little background I have on this video here, this was most likely a blank firing gun. Either that or some sort of traumatic pistol that only shoots like a rubber projectile, something that's made to be non-lethal. If I had to put my money on it, I'd say a blank just because of the confidence at which he chambered it and, yeah, doinked. What people don't understand about blanks is that while you don't have the projectile, you know, the literal bullet that goes out the barrel and hits the target, what you do have is the gunpowder, which is made to propel a projectile. When there's no projectile and you press it against something, guess what? That thing becomes the projectile. Which is why even though there's no bullet, blanks and blank firing guns are still not toys. Just ask Alec Baldwin. Luckily, from what I've seen, this guy is totally okay and survived this with nothing more than a banger of a fucking headache. But you know, these non-lethal or blank firing guns, weapons, whatever, are pretty common in a lot of parts of the world. For example, our next clip, which looks to be a Russian gentleman explaining how a hand grenade works and then doing an oopsie.
Oh boy.
Отогнуть усики, извлечь кольцо, и после чего, то есть рычаг отпустить.
Oof!
I like those meme videos like this one where it just ends just shy. But as we've shown in past episodes of Darwin Awards, over there in Russia, they've got a bunch of, like mock hand grenades and things for paintball, airsoft, what have you. So it's not a real grenade with explosives and fragmentation built into it that, is meant to kill people. It's more just a mock-up, like a flashbang. So at the end of the day, while it might look kind of crazy, it's really no more dangerous than me doing Let me go put out that little fire real quick. Man, it takes a lot to feel these
Alright,
days.
Thunderspear.
Anyhow, on
No
the note
rush.
of me doing dumb shit for YouTube, this episode of Darwin Awards, we actually have a bonus clip. This time, the idiot who almost removed himself from the gene pool was me. If you're a subscriber, you of course know I'm talking about the pipe gun.
Going hot.
Fuck! Holy shit.
Definitely not breast milk. This pipe gun, to be exact. So at time of recording about 2 months ago, we did a video trying to recreate the wacky improvised pipe gun that was used to kill former Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe. Yeah, that video got us a strike. But it also did inspire this cool-ass t-shirt. You can ban bullets, but you can't ban my balls. But if you want to check these out, maybe get one for yourself, I'll leave the links down in the description and in the pinned comment. Well, the thing about my pipe gun is that we went a little bit bigger, both in diameter of the tube and size of the charge.
Literally eyeballing it. Probably pour a little more in just for good measure.
It blew up.
Yeah.
And a lot of you guys
blew
did
up.
call me out saying that this is something that I would include of someone else on Darwin Awards, so I better not be a hypocrite. Well, I'm a lot of things. Sober is not one of them, and neither is being a hypocrite. So I did know going in on this bit that this was definitely a possibility. That's why I didn't want to be holding it when it went off. So much like the original Japanese one, this one was electrically fired using a battery. However, I did this remotely instead of actually holding it. Unfortunately, the length of pre-cut wire that we brought out there to the range was shorter than Tom Cruise without platform shoes, so I was a little closer than I would have liked to be. Thankfully, I've done this shit a time or two, so I knew that if it was going to fail, it was going to fail from the cap in the opposite direction that the projectiles were being forced because, well, physics. So that's why the barrel I was hiding behind was offset to the side. Plus, shrapnel from something like this is not really aerodynamic and has way less penetrating power than, say, a bullet. So the barrel I was using for cover probably would have been plenty effective at stopping shrapnel had any gone in my direction, which thankfully it didn't. But like all the clips, there is a lesson to be learned here. Like I said in the now deleted and stricken video, don't try this stuff at home. Even though everything we're going to be doing today is 100% legal under American law, you still shouldn't do it because it's sketch as hell and a genuinely bad idea. All jokes aside, I am literally a professional, which not only means that I have a team and experience to reduce my risk of getting killed doing this shit, but also that I get paid to do it. It's literally my living. Think of me as like a stuntman. That is not some super safe shit I would ever do out on the range for fun, and you shouldn't either. So don't try to do what I do at home. Trust me, it's not worth the Darwin Award. But now, the moment you've all been waiting for. This episode's Darwin Award winner. Yes, this guy does actually win a real Darwin Award, so even though it's not graphic, if that thought bothers you, I would recommend clicking away now. Okay, so now that the decent folk have left and it's just you and me, let's check out what's going on in Phoenix, Arizona. So already from the first frame, we have a man on the left who, for the record, is legally carrying a firearm, being harassed and challenged to a fight by the gentleman on the right. Well, let's see what happens.
Oh boy.
Get down! Put your fucking hands up, pussy. Put your fucking
Is this
hands
guy trying to do
pussy.
fucking fisticuffs?
Get down. Put your
with the
fucking
guy with the
hands
gun?
up, pussy. Put the fucking gun down and scrap like a man, bitch.
So this is about 5 o'clock in the morning, and the guy who wants a bout of fisticuffs is yelling at the gentleman who has the gun to put the gun down.
Oh boy.
If you're ever in this situation, never put the gun down. If someone's trying to assault you, remember, you're the one who brought the gun. This guy's acting super tough, calling him a pussy and a bitch. He even took his hoodie off to show that he means business. But even though the gentleman with the gun keeps backing away and instructing him to get down and clearly trying to leave the confrontation by backing up, Muhammad Ali decides that he wants to try his luck.
Put your motherfucker, I'm gonna take that gun.
Now, it's hard to tell exactly where he was shot, but it only took one shot. He sweeps the muzzle down as he's pulling the trigger, so it's really kind of hard to tell. Could have been that wonderful leg shot we were talking about earlier. But depending on, it could have either been, a center mass shot or a pelvic bowl shot, all of which are capable of potentially dropping somebody in one shot. Of course, it doesn't always, but it definitely can. But all of a sudden, our instigator doesn't sound so tough.
I mean, stupid game, stupid prizes.
Now, in case you're curious, here's a little background that I found on the incident that appears to be correct. So the attacker and our gun-carrying defense dispenser here apparently knew each other. Long story short, they used to be neighbors. The attacker went to rehab, started accusing the other guy of stealing shit, was throwing rocks through his windows, whole 9 yards. The defensive shooter here moved away and got a restraining order. But the attacker started stalking him, and during this altercation, supposedly he had a knife sticking out of his waistband. Now, our gun-carrying American here was not having any of that bullshit. And when the crazy dude refused to back away and started to attack, that's when our boy here did what he had to do, which was to dispense a single 115 grain Darwin Award at approximately 1,200 feet per second. The Darwin Award here should be pretty obvious. If you have two brain cells to rub together, don't attack a guy with a gun. Especially don't bring fists to a gunfight. In fact, just don't get into any unnecessary fights, period. But especially just don't fucking attack a guy with a gun. De-escalate the situation, let cooler heads prevail, and you might just walk away without being the recipient of a Darwin Award. Anyhow, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Darwin Awards. Be sure to like the video and tell me down in the comments which one of these clips was your favorite. It helps me know what kind of content you guys like and what kind of stuff you want to see in future episodes.
That's common sense.
Oh, and if you haven't already, then subscribe. I'll miss you. Anyhow, that's all I got for you on this episode. I appreciate you, and as always, I'll see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks.
Fuel is my obsession to make the perfect weapon, like Rasputin's rise to the top.
I'm not comfortable with this guy being worried in the dog. We're totally comfortable that the guy was unwillingly transitioned. What the fuck, Thunderspirit?
Following up on flashbanging my fucking self in my office at 5 o'clock in the morning. Fucking audio. Hopefully that didn't explode.
That's great. That's great. As your future congressman. I keep forgetting that he ran. Not in his district. I mean, are you in a state at least? Yeah, let's see if I can grab that link. Since apparently I wasn't coming up. Let's try this. Oh, he actually won the nomination? Oh, I did hear a little bit about that, but I didn't hear a lot. Make sure this goes into the right set of channels. YouTube might have the outdated version. But I would love to. So I just want to step down for a head to go into another runoff. Was Tony the guy with the person who had the wife or whatever affair set on fire bullshit? Just to double check my memory. Oh, that fucking fruitcake. Okay. Except we had an affair who died very suspicious. Wait, was this the one that tried to say he was self-immolation or some fucking shit? There's some... It's alright, Noise. It's alright. Who's a fruitcake? Is fruitcake good? I would call fruitcake more of an acquired taste. More than anything else. But, that's probably gonna be a wrap for today, though, since I did only get like 3 hours of sleep, and I also do have work in the morning. Let's see if there's anybody alive that we can raid on Twitch and kick. Let's see. Don't have enough for kick, so who can we raid on Twitch? Tomorrow there should be Helldivers tomorrow. Which again, as I mentioned earlier at the start of stream, that all streams this week are going to be starting after 4, since I'm only working to have to work day shift. So I'm hoping to be live by 4:30 tomorrow, but I promise nothing. So I would suggest joining the Discord for the most recent updates for anything like that. Her mutual flame is Dark Tiding. You know what? You're right. We can bother me now. You're right. Anyways, all of you guys, please, because I know it's hot in a lot of areas here in the States, so please try and stay hydrated. Take care of yourselves. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, or you know what, fucking do it. Just be careful, and I'll catch all you guys later. Bye!